I'm just a piece of crap that you just come here to laugh at. And like, I don't feel like I have any love and any support. I think I should just delete my channels. I've fallen so far. I make the same amount of money now as someone that would serve at a busy restaurant. And I used to be a waiter. Please make me feel better about my life. Please let me feel something, like I'm worthy, like I'm valued, like I have purpose in this world. Because right now I don't feel like anyone actually likes me.
Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we are going to be talking about Nikocado Avocado. It's been a while since we've done a video about Nick or talked about Nick. In this video, we're going to be talking about he kind of, I feel like, again, does something that he's been doing more and more often. He kind of like lifts the veil, I think, from the character that he seems to play most of the time. These are my own thoughts and how I feel, but I've always felt like, especially the more intense parts of Nick's personality have been definitely like played up almost. I've always kind of compared it to what you see in like professional wrestling. A lot of it is like basically acting. And so in this most recent video, he kind of talks about his struggles with being a content creator and being a content creator that has, he himself says, intentionally gained 200 pounds. So I feel like it's a very interesting video. We're not going to be watching the whole thing because it's about 50 minutes, but there are some chunks in the video that I feel like are worth going over. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So this is the video right here, and it is titled, "I am no longer ... And without further ado, I'll just kind of let Nick share his thoughts and I'll kind of talk about it.
It's one of those days, everyone. By the way, this is not a pre-recorded video before everyone accuses me. I know I look extra skinny because that's my identity. No, but I am serious. I cried all night last night.
It's definitely clear that he has lost a significant amount of weight, for sure.
And I said, you know what? I'm this close to giving up. And here's the deal, everyone. Everyone hates me. Yes, there's nice comments from time to time, but do you see the crap people say about me everywhere around the internet? Do you see the comments that I receive from most people? You're fat, you're gross, you're disgusting, no one likes you. You're mean to Orlin, you don't have anything, you're poor, you're gross. You haven't eaten it, you have these mental disorders.
And I know that a lot of people are probably gonna say, well, you did this to yourself. Again, in the video, he talks about that, right? So that's why I think that this is kind of like a lifting of the veil, or just kind of sharing behind the scenes things of like really how he actually feels, not how like this character maybe feels, right? And so that's why I feel like this is an interesting video. So again, I understand that the argument or what people would say is like, well, you did it to yourself. He talks about the fact that he did it to himself, right?
I'm just not okay. And I said, I just want to eat because, you know, that's one of the only things that does make me happy. And maybe I do have a problem. Maybe I do have something. I don't know. I just share my life. I just come on here, I share my life, and it's just never good enough.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, like, especially like, say, I don't know exactly, obviously I've never been in Nick's head or anything like that, but I don't know exactly how this all started, like how he in his mind decided I'm going to start doing this, right? But say if it really was, I'm going to start eating on camera and being over the top because I know that it will get me views, and it really was for that reason at the start. It would not surprise me if, yes, it was for that reason at the start, but then over the time and over the years, it has become genuinely something that he feels helps him, right? Like eating this amount of food does make him feel better, right? I think a lot of us that have struggled with food addiction or whatever you want to call it, we know that feeling, right? Of like the amount of comfort that you get through eating. It's really hard to replicate that, right? And so it really can turn into an addiction, right? And so who knows, maybe that has happened and he just is trying to, you know, struggling to cope with that because it is something that is obviously really hard to deal with, right?
I'm so tired of being the laughing stock. I'm so tired of being the person that just has to take all the punches. I'm so tired of, like, I'm just supposed to accept it, even from friends. Like, you are the disgusting one. You are, like, you're just the fat person. That's all you are. You're just fat. Like, if you were skinny, I probably wouldn't talk to you. Like, you're just fat. Now, look at all these comments. It's like, how do I please people? I'm supposed to be that fat person. I'm supposed to be healthy, but people don't like me healthy. Oh, well, you're boring. Oh, well, ew. If I'm being honest with people, I feel very trapped.
this is one of the biggest issues, I think, with a lot of YouTubers, and it's not just Nick and his situation, and he elaborates on it further in the video, which we'll get into. But this is a genuine feeling that a lot of people share, right? One of the, I don't want to say the issues, but one of the things that arise over time through being a YouTuber is, for the majority of people that make YouTube videos and make content, the way that you can make this a career is by finding a niche and sticking to that niche, right? But the issue with that is that over time, say if you're no longer interested in that niche, or in Nick's case, if it's genuinely something that was like messing with your health or something like that, right? It can be really, on the less extreme side of things, it can be just really like, you feel like you're doing the same thing over and over again, right? It can feel like Groundhog Day, and that can be grating over time. But then in Nick's case, right, where it's something that you feel like you have to eat this food and it's messing with your health, it really can be something that is like genuinely messing with your health, but you feel like you can't do anything else because anytime you do anything else, you don't get as many views, blah, blah, blah. And then that's just this cycle that continues and continues and continues. So while his situation might be a little bit more extreme than other people's, as someone that makes content, I can understand this kind of feeling, right? Feeling like you're kind of pigeonholed, you're trapped into a certain specific niche, and if you get out of that niche, you're basically just being like, I'm going to be leaving money on the table because I know if I made a video about this thing, it would do well, and if I make a video about this thing, it's not going to do well, but it'll make me happy. You have to play that game all the time.
And on top of that, I'm hated. I've trapped myself into something where I'm also hated for it. It's not like I trapped myself into something where, oh, we love him, oh, he's so funny, oh, he's the best. Like, no, I trapped myself into the worst person. I mean, I saw a video made about...
And that's true, right? Like, he did, and he's saying it himself, he did this to himself. So he turned himself into basically the laughingstock of YouTube and the villain, if you want to call it that, and he's not even enjoying it anymore. That's rough, man. That really is rough.
About me the other day. I didn't actually watch it. I saw the title. I stopped watching a lot of things out there because it literally makes me want to jump off a bridge. Fucking serious.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that.
But it was like the worst YouTuber on the platform, or like the worst manipulate. Like, what? I just eat food. Like... And you know, you have all these other influencers selling people Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and selling people tickets to events that they don't even show up for and all that. Like, I don't sell any, I guess a t-shirt, a shout out on Cameo. I mean, but man, people selling lipsticks that have, you know, ingredients in it, giving people rashes. I mean, like, I feel like I've been pretty good compared to other people.
I would agree with that. I mean, I think Nick has had his own fair share of controversies, but if you were to compare it to like the other worst YouTubers, there's been some people that have literally committed like actual crimes and they're in jail because of it or in prison because of it, right? And or even other crazy atrocities that have happened, right? And so I'm assuming that title, I'm assuming that person just used it because they knew that it would do well, right? That's how YouTube is, sadly. But yeah, I would agree with Nick that he's probably not the worst YouTuber that's ever existed. Yeah.
The things people are selling. I don't even sell anything. T-shirts, that's just the obvious, like, a given. Every YouTuber has a merch, you know? But it's just, I'm the worst. And I'm like, what did I even do? Just be fat? But that's what people wanted me to do. They wanted me to be fat. That's the only reason they watch me, because I'm fat.
So I'm not sure if that's completely true. That might be something that Nick really feels, but I don't know. Like, I think that there's obviously like this video, right? And this is obviously his videos have done better in the past. And I'm not saying that as a slight, like my videos don't do as good as Nick's. So I don't mean anything like that, right? But this video was uploaded 8 days ago, it has 100,000 views. So it's not like nobody's watching that, right? 100,000 views. I think that people would still be interested, even if you did lose weight. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong on that, but I'm not sure. I think that might be something that you have told yourself so much over the years that now you fully believe it. I'm not necessarily sure how true that is.
Even though I identify as skinny. It's so funny, isn't it? It's so funny. Well, I ordered something that I am excited for, and that's Denny's. Why I ordered that? It's because I was kind of craving it, and it turned out to be the best thing I had that day. Because I also had pizza, and I also had what else did I have? Pizza. It was like 80,000 calories. What did I have?
I used to go to Denny's pretty often. I had a friend whose mom worked there, and we would go at like 1 a.m. because we could get free food at that time. I haven't really gone much since then. But I mean, Denny's is Denny's. I don't know, if you live in America, you know what Denny's is. If you don't, it's like a fast food. It almost feels like the fast food of diner food is the best way that I can put it.
I had other stuff. I don't even remember. Go watch the video if you even care. But I'm like, I'm feeling really down. I'm feeling really hard on myself. I feel that I'm just so sick of people hating me for doing nothing. I don't know. And I'm just going to eat my feelings. And, I'm like, well, it's a spiraling circle, because if I show up here upset about myself, you're like, yeah, this is what we want. Grab the popcorn. This is what I signed up for. Okay, great. Well, I ordered.
It's moments like that where I feel like it's so obvious that like I don't understand how people can be like, oh, Nick isn't playing a character. That's how he really is, because I hear that stuff that he shares and like the stuff that he said right there, right, where it's like he knows that the more over the top he is, the more people are going to watch the video, the more they're going to be interested, right? It's very clear to me as someone watching this that he knows what he's doing. He knows what when a video will do well. He knows what kind of things will do well in a video. And so I don't know, when people say like, oh no, this is really how he is. I just don't understand that at all.
A little snack. It's actually not that much food, and I'm hoping it cheers me up.
Okay, it's a lot of food.
Really am. I'm thinking it will. Although they didn't have the BLT on the menu. I ordered online. They didn't have the BLT sandwich. Where is that? That was the best thing I had. They still have the hammy melt or whatever, but I didn't like the hammy melt, remember? But I got something I've never tried. I also got the Philly cheesesteak, which I love. I got cheesy hash browns. I got sausage on the side, buttermilk pancakes, seasoned French fries. Ooh, and I'm gonna try for the first time one of their cheeseburgers. It's it's like bacon, avocado on a brioche bun.
Not much food.
I'm excited. So hopefully this cheers me up. It probably will. I was really impressed with that. If you guys don't live in this country, this great country, Denny's is a diner type of restaurant, so it sells mostly breakfast food, omelets, pancakes, French toast. I didn't see French toast as an option for sides, which made me upset because I really want pancakes.
But I think I like pancakes more than French toast.
But it is what it is. But yes, but they also have classic dinners too. They have like T-bone steaks and brisket sandwiches and grilled chicken and patty melts, buffalo mac and cheese, and it's not just so it's pretty impressive.
Denny's is like fine, right? Like it's always open for the most part. It's almost always open 24 hours. Most of them are. And so it's like you can almost always get Denny's, and I think they serve everything always, right? So you can get breakfast food at 1 a.m. if you want. And so that's kind of the appeal, I think, for most people. I don't think it's most people's first choice, but it's like it is always an option.
God, I'm so ugly. I'm just so over this, Like if I just
I feel like there's a lot of things that are clear that he's feeling. I think that even with this, like when like the lifting the veil, I think there's always a little sprinkle of like showmanship, right? Like the pauses and the exaggerations. I think that's always going to be something he does. I think it's just like it almost turns on probably when the camera turns on. I think it would be really hard for him to just not have any showmanship. But I do feel like some of the stuff that he is saying, there is genuine feeling behind it, right? It's not just an act that he's putting on.
Just delete all my social media. Who's going to even care? No one. I'm just going to move on. It's like, what's the point of all this? Didn't make as much money as I thought I would. Went into debt. Lost everything in cryptocurrency. I could literally work as a server at a restaurant and make equal amount of money. It's like, was this even worth it? Probably not.
I mean, obviously, I don't know how true that is, but if that is true, I mean, it is an option. If that is what you want to do, you absolutely could. You don't have to force yourself to continue doing this.
And I used to make really good back before, you know what, in 2020. I'd say 2019 was the best year for me. But ever since you know what hit, advertisers got picky. My channel was on the naughty list. I said, I don't even care because this is how I get views. If I'm nice, I get no views and I don't get paid. So I'm like, whatever, I'm going to do as much as I can. You know, I fought with Orland and it's like, it wasn't even worth it. I don't like this anymore. I don't like the people that watch me. I love to eat, but you know, no one cares about what I like. It's just, how can we make fun of him? How can we call him, you know, the worst YouTuber? People call me the worst YouTuber. I don't mess with anybody, first of all. And I try to mind my business. I try not to give people attention that are looking to fight. I mean, people make videos about me every day, this and this and this and this. I don't engage with people. I say, you know what, have your opinion. I don't owe you anything. I'm not going to give you that satisfaction of me acknowledging you. I don't acknowledge anybody. I stay in my lane, I eat food, and yet I'm the worst YouTuber. This is what these videos say. I'm the worst. Really?
I think, again, I'm sure that video, it probably doesn't, I'm assuming the person doesn't actually mean the worst YouTuber that's ever existed, because again, there are some really terrible stuff out there. But again, I think, like, Nick knows the game. He knows, like, that's just what you title YouTube videos. Because if you said one of the worst YouTubers, it's just not going to do as well. Or the 10th worst YouTuber, it's just not going to do as well, right? And so I think getting hung up on that, like, I can understand being frustrated about it, but at the end of the day, it's like you understand how, you know, how click-through rate is, and you want people to watch the video, so.
And there's people on this platform that have really screwed people over.
It's true. I agree with that.
But I'm the worst. I don't even talk to anybody. I have my circle of good friends.
I feel that.
I filmed really good lasting relationships on this platform, but yet I'm the worst. Anyways, this is just what I'm genuinely feeling. And hopefully this food cheers me up so I can identify as happy. Yeah. And you know what? Every once in a while I'll see a comment like, oh, I miss when you posted every day. Like, wow, thank you. You're like one of 10 people. It's really sad, you know, and I thought I was doing something. I just thought I was doing something, you know. Anyways, I will see you when I will turn this back on when the food's here.
So that's the first part, and like I said, we're not going to watch the entire video, but that's kind of the bulk of what he was feeling, and there's another part a little bit later in the video that we'll get into. All right, so this is about like 10 minutes later in the video. We're about 22 minutes in, and again, he's kind of sharing a little bit more about how he's feeling.
I definitely feel lighter in my spirits by like 2% after ordering this food. I definitely feel, By now, as soon as I'm digesting and the camera goes off, I'm going to be back to crying. I was crying, people. I was crying. I'm like looking at myself. I'm looking at my life. I'm analyzing what the heck I did for the past 6 years. I'm like, this is not worth it. This is just not worth it. I'm not liked. I'm not liked by the YouTube gods, get the worst CPM. I'm not liked by all my viewers, get the worst reputation. I gained 200 pounds. It's really...
So that right there is crazy, right? So he's saying, basically admitting that he gained 200 pounds. I know he didn't say for YouTube, but I feel, in my opinion, it feels very much so that's implied. And, you know, this is stuff that I've talked about before, like, is it worth it? And it doesn't seem like it is, right? It seems that he's lost a significant amount of that weight. And like, was it worth it in the end? And it doesn't seem like it was for him. And like, I really do believe, like, again, I understand, like, me and Nick, we've never like talked outside of these videos. I've actually had my only copyright strike was from Nick. He ended up striking a video of mine. But even then, like, I don't know. I don't really hold any ill will towards him. I understand. Like, I fully, like, I understand why he copyright strike that video. It is what it is, right? And so it's water under the bridge for me. I don't know how he feels about it, obviously, but I can't help but feel a little bad for someone that's going through this, regardless of whether or not it's real or not. I don't know. It's impossible to tell with Nick, right? But regardless, I do think that this is a very, very interesting look inside of obviously a very prominent YouTuber, and the things that goes on with that, and like the really weird situation people are put in when they get the limelight, and the fact that that limelight can also be, you know, it comes along with a lot of money sometimes, and like what people will do for that and how that affects you. And it seems like Nick is such an interesting, basically, case study of attention online and what that can do to you, and if it's worth it, right? Because it seems like at this point he doesn't feel that it is worth it.
It's really hard to just come on here and be like, wow, I'm struggling. Like, what am I doing? I just want to disappear in this desert island. Just starve to death over there. Just get... Have you ever felt that way? Like, what am I doing with my life? What am I doing with my life?
I mean, I can say that I have felt that way. That's all that we're going to watch of the video. I personally don't... I'm not going to make people watch another person eat, because I personally don't like to watch other people eat on YouTube, and so it's not the most fun thing for me. But I felt like this was a very, very interesting video. Again, like a little bit of a snapshot or a behind the scenes look at someone that has, you know, made their channel basically about eating food and how that can really affect you. And so I'm genuinely curious what other people think about this. I'm sure people will think that I'm being maybe too nice. I don't know. I really can't help it. When I see someone going through that, my first reaction is not to try and kick them while they're down. And so that's just me. Everyone's different. So I would love to know what other people think about this, down in the comments section down below. And like, do you think would you watch Nick if he ended up losing weight and made different kinds of content? I don't know. Would you? Would that be something that you would do? I'm genuinely curious. But thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.